Okay, so like, who hasn't fantasized about just like hitting the reset button on life?
Hmm.
You know, trading in the daily grind for something completely different.
Oh, absolutely. That's the dream, isn't it?
Totally. And, well, today's deep dive, it's taking that fantasy to a whole new level because we're going to be uncovering the story of Catherine.
Okay, I'm intrigued already. Who's Catherine?
She's a woman who's not just dreaming about a life change, she's actually making it happen. Early retirement, a one-way ticket straight to Portugal.
Wow, hold on. Portugal.
Yeah. And she found this charming old farmhouse that's just waiting for her to, bring it back to life.
Okay, now that's a story. So we're talking like a total life makeover.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the best part, we kind of have like VIP access because she's bringing us along for the ride.
Wait, seriously, how?
She's documenting her entire experience, like every single step, the ups, the downs, everything.
No way. So that means we get the behind the scenes look at what it really takes to make such a huge change, not just like the polished after the fact version.
Exactly. And she's doing it all through her newsletter.
Ah, that makes sense. So it's like we're getting this raw, unfiltered view of her journey.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so relatable.
Yeah.
Like we're right there with her every step of the way. Okay, so before we dive into like all the exciting details of her plans, let's talk about Catherine herself.
Yeah, good point. I mean, this isn't just someone randomly buying a plane ticket on a whim. She's obviously put a lot of thought into this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not just some like random person. She's originally from Belgium, and get this, she's fluent in 4 languages.
Wow, 4. I can barely handle 1.
Right. And she's also a former health coach, yoga instructor, and even spent some time as a joy and fulfillment expert.
A joy and fulfillment expert. Okay, that sounds like the perfect resume for someone embarking on a journey like this. What does a joy and fulfillment expert even do?
I know, right? It's like she was destined for this.
Yeah.
But what I find super interesting is that this isn't just a sudden, out-of-the-blue thing for Catherine.
Really?
Yeah, like if you look back at her past experiences, there's this pattern of her embracing new passions and, not being afraid to navigate change. So this whole moving to Portugal thing, it seems like a culmination of all those experiences.
So it's like this is her, like, fully stepping into who she is meant to be.
Exactly, like a deliberate step toward aligning her life with her values.
I love that. Okay, you've definitely piqued my curiosity. So she's obviously up for a challenge, and I'm sure this move to Portugal will have plenty. But can we talk about where in Portugal for a sec?
Oh yeah, she's not just moving to like some random apartment in Lisbon or anything.
Let me guess. She found a castle.
Aha, almost. It's even better. She found this old farmhouse in central Portugal, and get this, she's planning to renovate it herself.
No way. That's amazing. I mean, talk about a dream project, right?
It's like straight out of a storybook.
Okay, now this is where I really want to dive deep. Because this farmhouse, it represents something way bigger than just a change of scenery, doesn't it? It's like a chance to completely disconnect from the rat race.
Totally. It's about reconnecting with nature, embracing a simpler life, and becoming self-sufficient.
It's about taking control of your life, like from the ground up, literally.
You got it. And I think so many people can relate to that desire for a simpler, more intentional way of life, especially with how fast-paced everything is these days.
100%. I think a lot of us are craving that connection to something more grounding, more real. And she's taking it a step further by documenting it all and breaking it down into these fascinating categories in her newsletter.
Right. It's like she created this roadmap to a whole new way of living.
Okay, I am so ready to get lost in the Portuguese countryside with this one. But before we do, let's break down these categories because they sound like the keys to this whole fascinating journey she's on.
All right. So first up on our journey to self-sufficiency, we have early retirement strategies.
The dream, right?
Yeah. Seriously. But it can also feel kind of mysterious. Like, how do people actually make that happen?
You're so right. It's easy to romanticize early retirement, but the reality is it takes a lot of planning, like financially, emotionally, the whole shebang. And that's what's so cool about this section. Catherine doesn't shy away from the nitty-gritty.
So it's more than just like having a bunch of money saved up.
Way more. It's about designing a lifestyle that supports you, even without the traditional 9 to 5. She's mentioned looking into things like passive income streams.
Oh yeah, that's a hot topic these days.
Totally. And since she's moving to a whole new country, I'm super curious about the budgeting tips she's going to share.
Right, because that adds a whole other layer. Navigating the cost of living in a different country, maybe without a regular paycheck. That's next level financial strategizing.
No kidding. It's like she's creating this masterclass in financial independence, but with the added twist of an international move.
Right. Okay, so we've got early retirement strategies checked off our list. Now let's talk about the adventure itself. Category number 2, the big move to Portugal. I'm already dreaming of those beaches.
Oh, me too. But let's not forget, she's not just moving for the sunshine and the food, although I'm sure those are amazing perks. This move is about a complete lifestyle transformation. And in this section, she gets real about what that actually looks like.
Like what? Spill the tea.
Well, for starters, all the logistical stuff, visas, residency permits, all the things you might not think about when you're just daydreaming about a life abroad.
Yeah, paperwork can definitely be a buzzkill.
For sure. But it's not just the boring stuff. She also dives into the cultural side of things, the challenges of adapting to a new way of life.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of moving to a new place, but there are always those unexpected bumps along the way. Even just moving across town can be stressful.
Ugh, tell me about it. But honestly, those are the stories I find the most interesting, like the what was I thinking moments.
Oh, 100%. It's those real and raw experiences that make a journey like this relatable. Okay, so now I'm picturing myself trading in my apartment for a farmhouse in Portugal, which brings us to category number 3, Farmhouse Renovation Chronicles. Okay, give me all the rustic charm.
Get ready to roll up your sleeves because this is a full-on DIY extravaganza. We're talking restoring stone walls, figuring out the plumbing in a historic building.
This isn't just like a fresh coat of paint.
Oh no, this is a labor of love. I mean, this farmhouse dates back to the late 19th century.
Wow. Talk about a blast from the past. So it sounds like she's really going to be getting her hands dirty, literally.
Big time. And this is where her whole vision of self-sufficiency really comes to life. It's not just about making the farmhouse look pretty. It's about creating a home that's sustainable, functional, in sync with its surroundings.
I love that. It's like she's merging history with modern-day sustainability.
Yeah.
Imagine those beautiful old stone walls alongside, like solar panels on the roof. Okay, now I need to go find a fixer-upper.
You and me both. Speaking of which, her next category takes us even deeper into the world of sustainable living.
Bring on the self-sufficiency journey. This one's so relevant, right? Like, with everything going on in the world, so many people want to lessen their environmental impact.
Absolutely. And Catherine's not just dipping her toes into this world, she's diving headfirst. She's going all in on learning and sharing about permaculture, setting up orchards, even managing water resources. It's really incredible.
It's like she's creating this little sustainable ecosystem where she's producing much of what she needs.
Exactly. It's like Little House on the Prairie, but with a modern eco-conscious twist.
Right. I love that she's taking this kind of romanticized idea of self-sufficiency and making it real, finding those practical 21st century solutions. Okay, this is making me rethink my whole grocery shopping routine.
Right. It's inspiring. And it goes beyond just being trendy. It's about understanding the choices we make, the impact they have. It's about that connection between us and the environment.
It's about taking responsibility, even if it's just in your own little corner of the world, which I think is a powerful message. Okay, so we've covered early retirement, moving to Portugal, renovating a historic farmhouse, and diving deep into sustainable living. What else is there?
Well, we can't forget about taking care of ourselves in the process, right? And that's where Catherine's background as a health coach and yoga instructor really comes into play. Her next category is all about health and wellness in paradise.
Oh yeah, I'm so curious about this one. I mean, how do you even find time for self-care when you're tackling a huge move and a farmhouse renovation? It's impressive.
Right. And this is what I love about her approach. It's about finding those little pockets of joy, those moments to nourish yourself, even amidst the chaos.
It's like she's showing us that self-care isn't selfish. It's essential.
Yeah.
Especially when you're making big life changes. Okay, so what kind of things does she have planned for this category? Does she, have a mobile yoga studio she brings to the construction site?
I'd love to see that. But no, she keeps it real. She's mentioned sharing her favorite farm-to-table recipes.
Okay, I'm already sold.
Right. Imagine fresh ingredients straight from your garden. But it's not just about the food. She also wants to share simple yoga practices and mindfulness techniques. Stuff you can do anywhere.
It's about that holistic approach to well-being.
Yeah.
Mind, body, spirit. It's all connected.
100%. I love how she breaks down these big, sometimes kind of overwhelming concepts like early retirement or sustainable living into these manageable steps. It makes it feel so much more approachable.
Right. She's not claiming to have all the answers. She's just figuring things out as she goes. And I love that she's bringing us along for the ride.
It's so refreshing. Speaking of inspiring, Last but definitely not least, we have building a lasting legacy. I think this might be the most powerful category of them all.
I think this one really gets to the heart of like why Catherine's story is so impactful. It goes beyond just her own personal journey.
Totally. It's about those bigger questions, what we leave behind, what kind of impact do we want to make?
Exactly. And Catherine, she's not just thinking about these things, she's involving her whole family in figuring it out. Remember how she talked about creating a family mission statement with her daughters?
Oh, yeah, I loved that part. It just shows how intentional she is about this whole experience. Like, it's not just about her, it's about creating something meaningful for her family, too. It really makes you think, what would our family mission statement be? What values do we want to pass down?
Right. Now you've got me thinking, okay, but seriously, that's such a cool idea. Like, it makes you really define what matters most.
Exactly. And it just highlights how, even though Catherine's story is very specific, moving to a farmhouse, all that there are these universal themes woven throughout. Dreaming big, taking risks, defining success on your own terms. It's inspiring, right? It's like this reminder that it's never too late to try something new, to chase your passions,
Yeah.
even if it means like completely reinventing yourself.
Exactly. And the fact that she's sharing it so openly, like all the ups and downs, the uncertainties, that's huge, especially in a world where everyone's trying to present this perfect image.
Right. It's refreshing, like she's saying, hey, here's the messy reality of chasing a dream. And I think that really resonates with people.
It does. It makes it feel attainable. Like, yeah, there are going to be bumps in the road, but that's part of the journey.
Totally. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm feeling super inspired. Like Catherine's story reminds me that life is full of surprises, and sometimes the best thing we can do is just embrace the unknown, step outside that comfort zone. Couldn't agree more. And who knows, maybe hearing her story will encourage our listeners to take those leaps of faith too, whatever that looks like for them.
That's what I'm hoping. Well, there you have it, everyone. Our deep dive into Catherine's amazing journey from leaving the corporate world to embracing a whole new life in Portugal. It's been a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and, creating a life that feels authentically you. We can't wait to see what adventures await her, and we hope you'll keep following along too. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep diving deep into the stories that inspire you.